Chelsea fined for more poor discipline in the Man United game. Recently purchased budding young superstar to potentially go out on loan. Blue coat target another sensational French child. And another failed transfer move for Sterling arises, which might not mean good news for the Nicolas Jackson loan. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sink, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And you're going to have to bear with me a little bit today. I have some sort of lurgy in my throat, and talking is a little bit hard, so this might be a little bit choppier than usual. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, Chelsea have dropped several bombs of news today, which we are going to unpack, unravel, and give our opinions on. But guys, before we get into it, if you are enjoying the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so let's start off with the fine stuff, right? And it's annoying, man, because it's literally been a game in between this as well, so it's just like, I don't want to have to think about the Man United game anymore. I try to get out, but you keep pulling me back in. So, Chelsea have been fined £25,000 for receiving 5 bookings against Man United and obviously the 1 red card from Robert Sanchez. 25k is not a huge amount of money. It's not exactly like we need to worry about the financial implication of it, but it's just annoying, isn't it, man? It's like, mate, come on. I just wanted to put this game behind me, and it's just another reminder that poor discipline has more of a cost. Do you know what I mean? Than just potentially missing players and stuff. Do you know what I mean? When it comes down to it, poor discipline is punished monetarily by the Premier League. So, you know, that game, man, I just literally just want to put this game behind us. And obviously we've just had the really difficult game with Lincoln in between that. And don't drag me back in, man. Leave me alone. But moving on to what is... I don't even really know how to think about this one, man, and I've seen a couple of sources stating it as well. Supposedly, Enzo Maresca really not happy with Yoro Hato, and potentially we're going to send him out on loan back to the Eredivisie in January. Oh, what does that mean? So just from the off, the first thing is like, what about Cucurella? Do you know what I mean? We literally brought Yoro Hato in because Cucurella can't play all of these games. If we send Yoro Hato back out on loan, what are we going to do? We can't bring Ben Chilwell back now because that was a permanent sale. We can't bring Samuel Ishe-Smith because we sold him to Strasbourg and he went out on loan to Swansea. We have no more left backs. We've got so many holes in the squad at the moment, we literally cannot afford to be sending players away that we actually need to cover depth. When we need to buy centre-backs, we need to think about the goalkeeper situation, what's going on with the striker. Centre attack seems a little bit light because Cole Palmer's injury looks to be a little bit more serious than we initially thought. We absolutely 100% can't be sending Yoro Hato back out on loan. That just seems crazy to me, man. I don't know, so... Yeah, they haven't specifically said about whether it's like a discipline thing or an attitude thing or just a playing thing or not getting, you know, up to speed with the system and Maresca's tactics and settling in or whatever. But apparently, Yoro Hato alongside Jamie Gittins were 2 of the players that were seriously reprimanded in the halftime of the Lincoln game. I didn't watch Yoro Hato being like, he's having a terrible game. Do you know what I mean? To be fair, I didn't watch Jamie Gittins being like, everyone was having a terrible game. Do you know what I mean? Literally everyone. Jamie Gittins had one of our better chances in the first half, to be fair to him. And that was on an unfamiliar side because he normally plays on the left as well. But I don't remember watching Yoro Hato and being like, this guy's stinking out the joint. Do you know what I mean? But Maresca apparently thought so because he's gone in on him. And now we're seeing myriad reports of Yoro Hato potentially being sent back to the Eredivisie on loan in January. That's just bad juju, man, isn't it? We've got some bad juju going on here. So like I say, man, the main thing is just the Cucurella situation, isn't it? It's like we absolutely can't afford to be sending Yoro Hato back out on loan when we don't have any other left backs. And our only other left-footed defender that might be fit at some point this season is Benoit Badiashile, unless Maresca's like, it's fine, I'll just play Malo Gusto there occasionally. But then we haven't got any right back backup for Reece James as well, unless Achiampong comes in. Oh mate, what a mess. How did we get here, guys? How did we get here? Tell me in the comments, what was the turning point, right? When did we all collectively go from being like, next season looks like it's going to be really good? And when did that point change? The line was crossed into like being one step away from a crisis at any moment. The Yoro Hato stuff for me just smacks of, if this is true, it's just bad recruitment. Like, if we spent like 40 mil on Yoro Hato, do you know what I mean? And it really obviously looked like it filled a spot that we absolutely needed. How can that move have gone so badly that we're considering sending him out on loan in January when we are desperate for someone to play that position and to give Mark Cucurella that backup, man? It just bewilders me, befuddles me. My brain is falling away from my ears like wet cake, to paraphrase Bernard Black of Black Books. I don't even really know where to go with that one, man. Do we go in for someone else in January then? Is there anyone else? Do we need an experienced head instead of another young one? Is this the beginning of the turn? Are we really finally starting to see what happens when you bring multiple teenagers into your squad at the same time? And talking of teenagers, let's move on from the Yorel Hato news into another teenage striking child sensation that Blueco have set their sights on. So apparently we've got too many teenagers in the squad, but we also don't have enough teenagers in the squad, and Blueco have set their eyes on Mohamed Kader Mete, I think it is how you pronounce it, 17-year-old striker, currently plying his trade at Rennes, that's probably Rennes or Rennes for most of you, in Ligue 1. Does this kid look good? Yeah, he looks all right, man. The talk is that he's the next Drogba regen, right? But the guy's 17, and apparently what's got Blueco excited about him is he scored 3 goals in 17 appearances. Wicked, because that's how we solve our issues, I guess. I don't even know, man. Like, where'd you even go? What'd you do with this news? What'd you do with it? Right, so I mean, the machine was never going to stop turning, was it? The cogs were always going to keep on piling away. And finding young superstars is obviously still very important to Blueco, and we've already seen that, man. Like, of all of the 2 billion that we've spent or whatever, like, only half of it has actually gone into the team. This is going to be another player that gets... do you know what this might be? Potentially, maybe this is the Omega replacement for Strasbourg, which is a long, windy kind of way of doing it, but maybe Chelsea buy this Mohamed Kader Mete and loan him to Strasbourg when Omega eventually makes the move to Chelsea. Is it possible that this all happens in January? Are we about to see the most mental January we've ever seen? I don't know. I'm not really super psyched about this news. I don't want to see news about 17-year-old strikers on the same day that we're talking about loaning our 19-year-old left-back cover, which we have absolutely zero replacement for, to the Eredivisie in January. I don't know what's happening, man. Maresca's got... I don't even know. Like, who do we blame at this point? It's kind of everyone, isn't it, man? It's like, I've been... do you know what? It's annoying. I'm trying to be so objective and I tried to be positive, but they are making it really difficult for me, man. The sporting directors and the owners and Maresca and all of them seem to be really not on the same page at the moment, and that is becoming very... As a fan of the club, that is becoming very evident, right? It feels like they are all pulling in slightly different directions, and Maresca is now starting to look like he's actually not happy with the squad that he's got, you know, with the likes of putting Tyreek George up front all the time. When you brought back Mark Gue from Sunderland and obviously all the centre-back stuff, you've got the sporting directors still looking at bringing in more children and trying to play 4D chess when we play football, man. Like, you know, we're not playing chess, we're playing football. Get in the game. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe the kid's great. Like, don't get me wrong. Esteval Willian obviously was very young when we bought him. Giovanni Quenda was only 17 when we bought him. So it also could well be a case of buy him, loan him back to Rennes, or maybe send him to Strasbourg when Omega comes in at the end of the season, or if that gets pulled forward in January, maybe that too. But at the end of the day, man, like I say, for me, I don't know. To stick on the French side Strasbourg thing, Egbali has been seen at Strasbourg watching Mike Penders. So Mike Penders seems to be doing pretty well over there, which is something positive, right? Because, you know, I talked about the Mike Maignan news yesterday. Maybe we're going to get him in January. Maybe we get him on a free at the end of the season. Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen both not happy. But Egbali is out in Strasbourg watching Mike Penders. So the thing that is good about that is they're not just treating Strasbourg as like a throwaway thing. Do you know what I mean? They're over there doing business, making stuff happen, which is good because they can't just be a feeder club for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? The club needs to kind of express itself in its own right. So hopefully that is a sign that Eghbali is, over there doing Strasbourg business and not just looking at Chelsea stuff. But either way, seeing Mike Penders doing well over at Strasbourg is some sort of tonic to all of the mental news that I'm talking about today. In more goalkeeper news, Philip Jorgensen, not happy. Obviously, he's not happy. Really, really young lad. Was playing quite a lot when we bought him. Maybe expected to be able to get a chance to fight his way into the team, and that's not really happening. And he's flattering to deceive as well. But you can't really blame him because he's getting no game time. Do you know what I mean? He's not getting any real opportunity to get in between the sticks, apart from a game against Lincoln and being brought on to replace a sent-off Sanchez when we're 10 men against United. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly the best environment for solid development, is it? So I would have thought we'll probably end up selling him at the end of the season. We might end up selling both Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen at the end of the season, man, because nobody's really happy, are they? Nobody's really happy at all. So, and one small story to wrap up today's newsy, ranty video with is about Raheem Sterling, right? So it's not something that's necessarily going to change in the future, but just an interesting indication of what's happened and what that might mean for some other stuff. Raheem Sterling supposedly early-ish in the window was approached by Vincent Kompany's Bayern Munich. So, a couple of things. A, that's really annoying. Because why did you say no? He wants to stay in London with his family, man. Like, that's 100% the thing. That's why he hasn't gone to any of these other places. He didn't want to go Saudi, didn't want to go Turkey, didn't want to go to the United States, and evidently didn't want to go to Germany either, because he really wants to stay in London, close to his family. Fair play to him for that. I can't be mad at Sterling for that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, oh, man. So what this leads me on to is how this potentially affects our thoughts around the Nicolas Jackson loan, right? Because if Bayern Munich were in for Sterling on loan, that was never going to be a permanent thing, was it? So Bayern Munich needed an attacker on loan that they were never thinking about buying Sterling. Do you know what I mean? So what this might look like to me now is that, or maybe to all of us, let me know if you think any difference in the comments. They told us what we wanted to hear with the Nicolas Jackson thing, and we've already heard more as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got to make 40 starts. That's almost definitely not going to happen. I reported a little while ago that Nicolas Jackson's agent has come out and been like, oh yeah, well, at the end of the season, 60 million euros is a great price for a striker in today's market. We think that that Nicolas Jackson will be made permanent. Obviously, they've got to come out and say that, man. They can't be like, oh, well, this loan idea was a terrible loan move. Do you know what I mean? That's not going to happen. So just knowing that they were in for Raheem Sterling at the start of the window paints the Jackson loan for me in a slightly different light, and just basically is, look, they're not going to buy him. they ain't going to buy him. They're not going to buy Nicolas Jackson. We were hopeful. They ended up having to, at the end of the day, we're going to make 12, 13 mil or something on the loan deal itself, which is the highest loan fee of all time. Yay, what a record. How about we start winning football games? But yeah, that just sort of, like I say, the Sterling news to me just paints that picture, doesn't it? Exactly what they were looking for is a Raheem Sterling type character to just come and fill out the squad for the year, probably while Musolai gets his fitness back, or, recovers from his injury or whatever, or until they can, get someone out of their academy or find a youngster somewhere. But Nicolas Jackson is probably not going to make his move permanent, even if he plays well, man, unless he's absolutely phenomenal, which he's probably not going to get the chance to even be, barring injuries. Nicolas Jackson's probably going to be at Chelsea next summer. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,000 subs and I'm so close now. It's 70 to go, man. 70 to go, and then we can really get this ball rolling. But nice one. I'd love to know what you think about all of today's conversations. Chelsea getting fined for their disciplinary stuff. Yoel Hato being loaned back to the Eredivisie after not impressing. Us being in for another sensational French child, which we absolutely seem to love. And what to me, Bayern Munich holding interesting Sterling at the start of the window actually says about the Nicolas Jackson loan move. Nice one, guys. I'll catch up with you all very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.